YouTubelets! Welcome back to another episode of the Euro Cooking Canuck. I'm glad that you're here with me today. On today's segment of Memories of Malta, I'm going to be doing something that's very old and traditional, and it's loved by all the Maltese people all around the Maltese islands. It's a pasta dish that we call IMQARRUN il-FORN. Now, another name for it would be GHAGIN il-FORN. Agin being pasta, forn an oven. Now basically guys, what we're doing is a baked pasta. So guys, please sit back, relax. This recipe is really easy. All the ingredients will be in the description box below. Let's get started on traditional Maltese IMQARRUN il-FORN. Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen countertop. I have a large pot which I've started with a little bit of olive oil, half an onion, and I'd say about 2 tablespoons of garlic. The garlic is up to you, to your taste, guys. So I always tell you guys, season in layers, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of cracked pepper. What we're doing, guys, is we're going to make our sauce first because it needs to simmer. So, first thing I'm going to do is add a jar of passatta, strained tomatoes, basically. And I'm also going to add a can of pulpa, or you can use stewing tomatoes or chopped tomatoes. So in that goes. Now, depending on how much you're making, you may need to add more pulpa or more stewing tomatoes, but I'm going to see how mine comes along and I'll adjust accordingly. All the ingredients will be in the description bar below, so no need to worry. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit of water in that passatta jar, just to get all of that tomato pulp juice out. Can't speak today. Right, so that's it. So, again, just going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Salt and pepper are always to taste, guys. Pepper. I'm not going to put too much salt because we're going to be adding some grated cheese to this. Then you're going to need just a glug of Worcestershire sauce. Believe me guys, these flavors are going to be amazing. Now, believe me when I tell you, you will need some curry powder. You don't have to go crazy. It's not an Indian dish. It's a Maltese dish. But the Maltese were influenced by the British, who were influenced by the Indians, because India was part of the British Empire. Blah, 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 blah. Add curry. About a good teaspoon. And you can always adjust later on. You're going to need a few bay leaves. Eyeball it. 3, 4, whatever you want. And now I'm just going to let this go for just a little bit before I add in our other elements. And then I'll see you when that happens. Hey guys, right, so my sauce is starting up really nicely. And I did add another can of pulpa. So that's up to you. You should have enough sauce to coat all of the noodles. And you're going to be adding meat to this now. I did taste it and declared sometimes tomatoes are acidic, so just a scant pinch of sugar. That's it. You can really smell all that spices we put into the garlic, Worcester, even a bit of the curry. Right. So at this point, I'm going to add my meat. Now, what I have is 1.5 kilos of ground pork and beef. It's about 30% pork and 70% beef. I am not browning this. Why? Because I want the beef and the pork to infuse their flavors into my sauce. And I want it to be moist. I don't want it to be gristly or crunchy. So, I'm going to go ahead, stir in my meat, and it's coming into a really nice, rich meat sauce. Once this is cooked down, I'll be back and show you what I add next. See you in a tick. It smells amazing in here, guys. My beef and pork mixture has cooked down. It didn't take long. And what I went ahead and did is I tasted it as you should. You really have to have those Maltese flavors of the curry powder, Worcestershire, excuse me, and the garlic, salt, and pepper in here. And I just adjusted and tweaked to my liking. You do the same. Now, it's optional, but in Malta, we cook with corned beef a lot. It will melt down, woo! It will melt down in your sauce. So don't worry about chopping it up and all that. Just take it out of the can. Don't make a mess like I did. Sorry for the angle. I don't get the lid in there either. Damn. It's live, guys. Once you start. Alright. So, as I said, the corned beef is optional. And as I also said, it will melt down in your sauce. So there's no need to worry about cutting it up beforehand. If you want to, be my guest. But seriously, it's going to melt down. The Maltese use corned beef in a lot of our recipes and cooking. Some people omit it altogether. If you're not a big fan of corned beef, but you want to kind of give it that something special, add it in, because you're really not going to taste it, but it adds another level of flavor to your sauce. At this point, I'm also going to go ahead and hit my sauce with about a quarter cup of what we call jobon tel hoc, which is a grated kefalatori. If you can't find kefalatori, use Parmesano, Parmigiano Reggiano, Romano, whatever's your favorite. Right into the sauce, but a quarter cup to start. We're going to be adding more later, and I'll show you that step. Now at this point, it's also optional, but you can add some ricotta cheese, or you can add cream cheese. I am going to go ahead and add some cream cheese to mine. Again, it'll melt down in there, guys. Don't worry about it. Should be about room temperature, though. It's optional, and not all Maltese households do this step. I often use ricotta cheese. But it's going to give your final product a really nice, rich, creamy texture. And you can see it's already melted in there, guys. So, this needs to simmer and melt together a little bit longer, and then I'll show you what I do next. I have a pot of boiling salted water with a little bit of oil, to which I'm going to add 500 grams of tortiglione. It's the pasta that has those little ridges. Now, you can use a penne if you prefer, but this is more traditional. The whole bag goes in. Let this come to a boil. Cook till al dente. Drain, and I'll bring you all back. Hey guys, I've added my pasta to my sauce. And at this point, what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I've let this cool a bit, just slightly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some more grated cheese. I know it looks like a lot, because it is. Add to your taste, guys. But you want to have some good cheese in it. It's a lot of pasta. And at this point, you may want to go ahead and taste it. If you feel like you should be adding more cheese, go ahead. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to add some eggs to bind all this together. And then we're going to put it all in the casserole dish and bake it. So I'll be back and I'll show you when we do that. Alright, a little more cheese. Nothing wrong with that. Right, that's it. That's enough for now. Because we're going to put some on the top. Of course we are. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead now and add my eggs. That this has cooled down a bit. Because we don't want them to scramble. 2 to 3 eggs. I'm going to start off with 2. To see where I am at. Because this is what's going to bind your IMQARRUN il-FORN when it bakes in the oven. And I think I'll go ahead and add that 3rd egg. And I'll see you guys when it's time to go into the oven. Last additional option, guys, and again, you do not have to do this, but some Maltese put peas into their IMQARRUN il-FORN. You don't have to put in a lot, but I do like peas, and they are frozen. Don't worry, peas don't take long to cook, and they will cook in the oven anyway. So there's just a few in there, just for some color. All right. See you when I put this into the oven. Alright guys, we're going to put our IMQARRUN il-FORN in this 9x13, which I've gone ahead and lightly buttered. It's optional. You don't have to do this, but I like to because I just don't want anything to stick. Normally it doesn't, but like lasagna, however, that's what I do. So, gently start pouring in your pasta and sauce. If you have extra, guys, make another one. They freeze really, really good. Just going to flatten this out a bit. Now you're going to put this into an oven at 200°C until it's bubbly. You are going to take it out about 10 minutes before it's done and put more grated cheese on top. The Maltese love our baked pasta crispy on the top. I'm not going to say burnt, but they do like it browned and crispy. That is for sure. So that's what you're kind of looking for. Let's have the last, making a mess. Last little bit here. Alright, looks really good. I'm going to smooth this out. Now, as I said, this is going to go in the oven. When it's almost done, I'm going to take it out, put some more Parmesan. Oh, look, there's a bay leaf. I'm going to put some more Parmesan cheese on top, and we're going to bake it until crispy, and I'll see you then. Hey guys. IMQARRUN il-FORN is bubbling away, getting browned, and I'm taking it out of the oven carefully because it weighs a ton, so please be careful. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some more grated cheese. This is optional, but it really adds. If you really wanted, you could add some cheddar or any of your favorite meltable cheese, but to really keep the Maltese flavor and the flavor of the med, I would suggest some grated kefalatori, or hock as we call, or Parmigiano Reggiano, or Romano. We're almost done. I'm going to put this back into the oven just until the parmesan or the grated cheese gets more browned. Guys, you can buy these slices at little shops like not a pizzeria, but what we call a pasticceria, where we sell the traditional pastizzi. Right, so I'm going to place this back into the oven very carefully until everything gets toasted, and I'll bring you back. Hey gang, IMQARRUN Il-FORN is out of the oven. It's piping hot, and we have some really nice crispy tops, and that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. Like I said, not to be burnt, but very, very well browned and crispy. The reason why we've put the grated cheese on in the last 10 minutes is because grated cheese has a tendency to burn and go very bitter. So if you put it on the very beginning, it's going to burn and get bitter before everything is done. So that's why you wait until the last 10 minutes. Guys, like a lasagna, IMQARRUN Il-FORN needs to set and relax for a bit. It's piping hot, it's like lava, so if you were to cut into this now, it'd probably just fall apart on you. However, the great thing about IMQARRUN Il-FORN is it can be eaten hot, warm, room temperature, or even cold, straight out of the fridge, which makes this amazing to bring to a party, a picnic, to the beach, wherever. It's very versatile, and it also freezes extremely well. So if you have a big batch, you can always make a separate one and put it in the freezer. It'll be great. You do not have to make a big, huge one like this. However, that being said, once you cut into this and eat what you want or can for you or your family, whatever is left cooked also can be frozen, and you can just reheat on a later date. So guys, thanks so much for watching the Euro Cooking Canuck and Memories of Malta. I do hope that you like this video. Please subscribe, please share, please comment. I love your comments. All of the ingredients will be in the description box below, and as usual, there'll be some photos near the end when I cut into this beauty. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.